This is the guy I've been searching for
I think
all
it's safe to say that he knew that Jimmy wasn't the guy, and that sadly,
along.
despite the investment, that Trey wasn't the guy.
And he found his guy. You know how many years he's been searching for the guy? And we talk about Andy Reid, the quarterback or the coach for the Chiefs. How many years did he fail and fail and fail until he found his quarterback, Mahomes? Now, Kyle, he might be in this same parallel universe. If they win a Super Bowl, then it's the Andy Reid situation. He finally found his guy. Took him years, and he finally found his guy. And you can tell how much he loves Brock. After that game in Detroit, he went up and he hugged Brock. Like, that was the huge embrace. This team loves Brock. Kyle loves Brock. Found his guy. You know what? He failed along the way. But now he found his guy, and he's not going to look back. And I love the story. It was amazing, and I love that Jed York was honest with us and told that. That was a crazy nugget when I heard. I was like, wow.
Here's Peter King.
Kyle Shanahan.
Here's Peter King with Dibbs and Willard on 95.7 The Game, an afternoon drive today. Two of my favorite guys, and Pete King.
Kyle Shanahan, in that period of time, 20, 25, 30 minutes when they were trying to decide what they were going to do, he said in that room, I love this quarterback. This is the guy I want to take. And so all of a sudden, a chorus of other coaches come up and say, oh, man, we need this linebacker. We need this receiver. This guy is going to help us. We got 2 quarterbacks already. You just traded 3 ones last year to pick Trey Lance. Who cares about a quarterback and if we lose him? It doesn't matter. But Kyle Shanahan, and the management of this team made a decision that I'm telling you ticked off some people in that room when they took Brock Purdy, because nobody who has any idea about a quarterback from Iowa State. However, Kyle Shanahan knew one thing, and it was the most important thing, and it was the reason why he ended up taking Brock Purdy with the 262nd and final pick in the draft. And he knew that Brock Purdy was not going to sign with the 49ers in free agency. He knew it. So he said, if we want this guy, if I love him so much, we got to pick him. So they picked him. And obviously they lost out on a couple of guys who might have made their team, because every year there's 1 or 2 or 3 guys who is an undrafted rookie who comes in on all teams in the NFL and makes the team. But I think probably the coaches who are arguing against that are pretty happy this evening that Kyle Shanahan got his back up and said, hey, we're taking Brock Purdy.
What do you make of that, by the way? Do you think that's just Peter reading the tea leaves, or is that a sourced report? I'm not questioning the reporting skills of Peter King, one of the most veteran reporters in the league, but the way he kind of went through that, it almost is like he's reading the tea leaves. I mean, is there really any player out there that they would have rather have had? And show me an NFL coach that says, I want this guy with our final pick in the 7th round, and really gets a significant pushback from anybody. If you're a head coach of an NFL team and you have conviction about who you're going to pick with pick number 262, you get what you want. I mean, you get what you want. And there's not a person, no scout, I don't care what position coach you coach. I don't care what the complexion of your roster looks like. If the head coach wants player X at the end of the 7th round, he gets player X at the end of the 7th round. So I don't know. What did you make? I know the way he stated it there, but it's almost like he's kind of like putting, it almost sounds like he's not sourced, like he's just kind of reading the
room.
Yeah, read the room and kind of going through it and kind of, I mean, I don't know. He was embedded with the Niners in a previous draft, but I don't think it was that draft. So it wasn't like he was in their war room, but he very easily could have said, Kyle told me this, Lynch told me this, somebody told me this, and he stopped short of saying that. Yeah. It was an odd report from Peter King, but I thought it was interesting to listen to today.
I mean, Peter King's pretty plugged in, especially with the nine. I mean, every
Yeah, definitely.
I won't question him. I don't necessarily think it's a source report, but Niners typically don't leak stuff. But I'm sure Peter King knows somebody that said something that may have sounded like a source from within and say, hey, when we were drafting. But I think it's more of reading the room kind of deal, reading the tea leaves, like you said. But at the end of the day, like it's the last pick in the draft. I don't know if a lot of people put in a lot of stock in that, but it does sound like because I've heard the Brock Purdy story, like he's told it too many times where he said, "Look, I was on the phone. He tricked his dad, his parents. I don't know if you heard the story. Like he told the story where I can't remember where I saw the interview, but he says, "Hey, look, I got a call from them. They said we're picking you at the last draft." So he knew, but he didn't tell his family, and they were like, "Hey, what was that call?" He goes, "It's just another free agent call, another free agent call." But he knew he was going to get drafted at the last pick. So when the pick came in, you've seen the video where everybody's like, "Oh my god!" The family's like going berserk. "Oh my god, he got drafted! Oh my god!" So like he wanted that moment for his family. He didn't want to tell them and ruin the surprise. So it was amazing. So I think there is some weight to it, some merit to him to say like they're gonna call him like, "Hey, we want to draft you," because yeah, you know what, a quarterback at that late in the draft, if you think you could get him undrafted, you're going to go get him undrafted. But Brock, what he said was Brock wasn't going to sign with them. So I think there is some merit to it. Now again, do I know if it's sourced or not? It's up in the air. So
Yeah, we're all kind of guessing.
maybe he's putting pieces together of a puzzle, but it's a hell of a story, and it makes the Brock Purdy story even bit like the Brock Purdy story. There's so many levels. I saw something today about like CJ Beathard. They drafted him, and then he gets to the Jaguars, and then because of his pick, they get the certain draft pick, and it ended up being the bet like the 262 pick. It's just there's so many weird little things happen to link the 49ers to Brock Purdy, and at the end of the day, this is their guy, man, and he's the franchise quarterback. And again, going back to where all these other people are discrediting him, they should just love this damn story, Larry. This story is incredible, man. It's like you said, a movie. You've seen the movie Rudy. They're going to make the movie Purdy instead of Rudy. I already see it. They better cast me and you in this.
Yeah, exactly.